Hello everybody, this is Doug from the HBG office here in Tulsa. I thought I'd give you a quick update. As you can see, not a lot has changed in my office since I come back from vacation. I've added a few pictures I did pull from my other office where I'm no longer there. My dad put my credenza together. There'll be a TV up there eventually. My games are still there. But I did add a couple posters. Got our Global War 2025 artwork and our Global 36. This is almost done. There's a few changes I'm going to have done on it. And brought that in. Anyway, not a lot has changed. I've been busy since I've been here. I've been working on a lot of pieces and stuff. I am going to get I've got these 118 scale aircraft, P-51, P-38, I've got a V-1, and over here there's some F-86 and a MiG and a Zero and a 109, I believe. So I'm going to have them up there hanging. I just haven't done it yet. I've had other things I needed to get done. Been talking to Will. I've set up the 2025. We're going through it, making sure setup charts and everything. Let's see, everything is working. I've got been printing stuff out. There's some really nice artwork. Well, I better leave it like this. So, as you can see, now the pieces I have 3D modeled, and what we're looking at to do is, depending on the interest of this game, we'll put it out for pre-order in, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks. We're a little behind on this, and we're going to do 2 molds. One for the U.S., well, I shouldn't say one for the U.S. It'll have Allied stuff, Pacific Coalition, NATO, and U.S. pieces. Like, I really like, this sub here, this little blue one there. It's a good size. Los Angeles class for the U.S. kind of big. F-35 is neat, but the Eurofighter is really nice too. Got to use the Florida class carrier, of course. And then same thing with the Russian, Chinese, and Caliphate pieces. We'll mix them in. So they'll have their set, and the Allies will have their set intermixed. Now, if we get a really good response, I would like to have, my first thoughts were, Chinese would have, there'd be a Chinese set, and it would be done in the 3 colors. The U.S. set, and it would be done in the 3 colors. But if we could get a third set, a mold, I should say, I'd like to add like the Russians in there, or NATO. Probably NATO would be the better one to do. So U.S., NATO, and China. And then if we can get a 4th one, then add Russia, and then add a 5th one, Pacific Coalition. Now, I do have a lot of these modeled, so when I do put the game out, I can put them on Shapeways for people that, like, I want these certain pieces. But, it's very expensive to make molds, especially more than 2. We did it in America. We did 3 molds, and it was very, very expensive, and I'm still sitting with a lot of stuff. So anyway, 2025, we're just making sure setups and wording and everything's looking good, and I'm really going through it. So just giving you a heads up there. I've got the 36 map, which I also will be setting up very shortly. I've got to get it same way, setups, everything else. We've got several people going through them, but I need to go through it as well. This map is done. Of course, we're looking for little mistakes in here. This is not a high resolution print on our map. This was just something I needed to get done. But as you can see, like this desert hatch, that's just hatch for now. like I think I said before, we just have, it's a placeholder. Even like the Tundra, it's just a placeholder. That's not final art. The artist knows when I say we are done changing stuff. The ice, as you can see, it's kind of a hatch, and then there's jungle. So just a pattern. So when I tell him, okay, we're done, you know, changing names and changing convoy routes and moving ports and all this other good stuff, then he'll go ahead and make the art real pretty. And I think I've mentioned this before. As you can see, England, it doesn't have a thick border around it like up here. Okay, so because we had it redone. I don't know if you guys recall the old one. It's a lot better now. Same with the U.S. and some of the other ones. So there's no borders on them. You know, I've had a couple of people, some of my designers say, oh, well, these borders, they need to be done. And I'm like, well, in final art, they'll be done. Because if the artist puts the borders in and then we make some changes, it's a lot more work for them and a lot more money for me to make changes. So just giving you a heads up, it's close. We're artists got behind, and I don't even know what to say. It's kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. I think you'll be very, very happy with how everything's looking, so we'll give you some more information probably in another week or two. I'll try to do it quicker. Last time I mentioned this book, Armed Forces of World War II. So we'll have a contest. You know, just make a comment that you'd like to be in the contest for this book on uniforms by Malo. Really nice. A lot of color plates, insignia. So anyway, you can do that, or you can have your choice of this battleship book. It's Axis and Neutral Battleships in World War II. Again, I have a duplicate. So as you can see, it's the Yamato class, Scharnhorst class, Bismarck, the H-class battleships of Germany, the O-class battle cruisers, Vittorio Veneto, and Spain, and a few appendices. So appendix. Sorry. Anyway, first person when I draw will get their choice, and then the other person will get the other book that's not claimed. This table is going to have another game. I just haven't got it out yet, but I have been busy. Like I said, I have put up a few things, but I've been really, really busy working on this other stuff, and I'll show you. Okay, for one, I need to show, if you come to my website, pre-orders, the America pieces in black are on pre-order right now. Shows you what you're getting. 82 pieces. Same ones that were done before, but in black. Now, one thing about this, when I run the mold, I'm always short on the ME262H and the 229. So when you pre-order them, you'll get them. When I sell the pieces individually, they probably won't be there. They'll be boxed up for the America game that we'll be releasing this Christmas, because we'll have the Japanese next, and yellow gold. So 3 new colors for the America game. If you remember, the Germans were done in gray, the Japanese were, of course, the pumpkin orange, and the Americans were the olive drab. And of course, we've already done the tan on the pre-orders for those, and those have already been shipped out and everything. So, and then I wanted to show you this. This is our 36 set 2. As you know, we did the first set that had the factories and coastal subs and the commander, things like that. So we've got heavy artillery. And this is a generic set. This set is just trying to fill holes for everybody, and it'll be done in 9 colors like the other one. They're all the base colors plus white. Let's say the major countries. So you'll have your heavy artillery, you've got advanced sub, which is the Nautilus, an advanced mech, the German 350, a Haskell class attack transport, I think this is really cool. I need to make sure that we get some really good detail on that. As you can see, all the boats and all stacked up there, guns, really cool. And then we got an Alaska class battle cruiser, and of course our commander. I was going to have him change my modeler. I no longer use for the infantry guys. I wanted to remove some of this stuff, like on this belt, maybe even change his hat, but he was way too expensive, and I don't think I'm going to do it. I got a biplane. We're going to use the F-86. That was a PO-2 biplane, I think Russian. We've got an F-86 Sabre for our jet. We're going to use the heavy carrier for the Malta. We got the Vanguard for our heavy battleship. We've got the B-29 as a heavy bomber. We got the Norwegian, I should say. That's a coastal defense ship. We got a German A4. I didn't pick the V2 rocket. I wanted something that had a little bit more character to it. So the one with the fins, I know a couple of you guys have probably seen it. I've got the picture of the back end, but it is pretty much a V2 with it's got a cockpit on the back side and the two fins. And really the main difference there. And of course we need the PBY, American PBY for the seaplanes. So that's that set. As some of you have seen, I've been putting the French Set 2 proposal on Facebook and say, hey, give me your ideas. What do you think? All these? No. We've got an armored car. We got a heavy tank, the ARL-44 that came out end of the war. Self-propelled artillery, the Corvette, which we use as a regular battleship. You know, we did the Richelieu. Of course, it's a big battleship, but this one would be good for a regular-sized battleship. Now, we got the heavy bomber, the F-222, and it's a 2-engine. I don't know if you all noticed, like, Axis and Allies did 2-engine bombers and 4-engine bombers, and they called them all bombers. And then when I started figuring out what I'm going to do, I noticed the 2-engine bombers were smaller than the 4-engine bombers. So I said, cool, I'll use the 2-engine bombers as medium bombers and make 4-engine bombers, the large, heavy bombers. Well, this French set is the only one that's giving me a problem because that's a 2-engine, and this is the CAO-700 heavy bomber, and it's a 2-engine. But I mean, I could make it, wingtip to wingtip, about 50 millimeters is what the regular bombers are. So you're not gonna not know it is. It just, I was trying to follow a pattern between 2 and 4 prop planes. So we'll see. But we got to pick one or the other. This one says Farman 223, but it's not that. That's a CAO 700. And then we've got a infantry with a light machine gun. And then we got a light cruiser. I'll probably fix this there. I don't like those cranes filled in. There's a jet. We got a railroad gun. We got a air transport. We got a light tank, the R-35. Of course, we got a truck. We got a medium tank, the S-35, and then we got an anti-tank W-15. Self-propelled in the tank. So anyway, that's the French set that I'm proposing for set 2. And that's down the road because we will have, after 36 set, I am going to be producing the Russian set to fill in the holes. It also will have the 203 like that other one there, but I just think it's needed. Of course, we got a destroyer. This one's not modeled yet, the Gangut, but there's one in the game already. Not a very good mold, in my opinion. You got a JS2, which they made a lot of. The JS3, late war tank, They made about half as many as the JS2, but definitely just very distinct looking. It's got that nice, I mean, more of your modern look of your tank, which I really like. Of course, JS2, I love that too. It's one of my favorite tanks. And then we've got a Kirov heavy cruiser. Again, there's one in the game, but we need our own. KV-1, this is the cast turret. It was a heavy tank, early war. Don't know if we need it. I know people have asked for it. Got an LA-5 fighter, a MiG-9 jet fighter. I put a PE-2 TAC bomber in there. Now we already did a TAC bomber in the last mold, single prop. This one would be built the size. This one would be the size of the Mosquito. You know, the British Mosquito. Again, don't need it. We already have one. Axis and Allies has one. You know, we can put some other, you know, piece in there, you know, because I'm limited to how many I can put in the mold. This is a Pioneer class ship, you know, transport, which I thought was, I looked at the other ones. This one's a little bit more unique. Of course, the rigging will probably just be single there and there, but I think it looks pretty neat. Russian Project 72 carrier. Of course, Russia will probably never build one, but I gotta have one in my mold because I just gotta have one for HPG. Now, a lot of people have been wanting this SU-152, and there it is. It's pretty cool. And then we've got I think that's a light cruiser. Svetlana. T-34-85. We did T-34-76. Of course, the 85 has got, you know, a bigger turret, bigger gun. Of course, the gun looks huge there, but you know, when it's down, it scaled down. It needs to be that thick. And then we got I think that's a TB3 heavy bomber. Kind of cool, I think. But anyway, that's that. Just letting you know. Don't forget, pencil it in. We've got a convention coming up April 3rd through 5th. Be more information coming. It is locked in 2020, Tulsa, Oklahoma. We'll get you more information. The website, they're trying to get it fixed up so we can start looking at that. So we'll be doing all kinds of games, and I need game masters. I know I asked what the ruling is. If you game master that day, you can get him free that day. So, you know, we'll do a Global 36. We're going to be doing a Global 1914, probably a beta version, 2025, a final version. You know, we'll do a 62 game or 65 Global War, and we might even show our 1861 game that's been in development, a little behind, but we have been working on it. So anyway, I just thought I'd post this. Give me some comments, give me some feedback, and hopefully the next time my office is a little further along. Thank you.